I love visiting my white friends because they always got new pets. They always got new pets they think are normal. Because, like, we all read fairy tales and stuff. We were little. We all watched the Jungle Book. I don't know what was happening. I was raised by black people, so I have no idea what was happening in white households. But I feel like there were extra chapters in those books because white people really out here thinking every animal is their friend. Like, that's... Dude, white communion with nature is, like, almost upsetting. It's like... And I went over to my buddy's house, and something hit me in my face, like, real hard. And I thought it was a garbage bag, right? And I was like, it's not even air conditioning here for a garbage bag to be floating around. So I was like, and it was loud, too. Like, it hit me, like, and then I turned around, I was like, what was that? He's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, I got a bat. You got a what? He's like, no, I got a bat. I'm like, where? What? What the fuck? You live in a studio, you have a bat? Where's it even sleep? And he's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. He answered me like I was being unreasonable. He's like, Josh, it sleeps in the closet. That's insane. It really is. I got another buddy. He got his dog. This is the oldest dog I've ever seen in my life. This dog, 22. It's so old. You know how when dogs get old enough, their bark change? This dog bark like, bark. It's half scream, half bark. The dog is so old, it got human problems. So he take your dog to the vet, be like, oh yeah, his psoriasis acting up. God damn. What the fuck does that happen? And then the vet like, yeah, he's got a little bit of dementia. I'm like, dementia? This dog gonna be meowing in 3 days. That's crazy as hell. That dog went, bark, bark, meow. And it's crazy too because because his back legs, he didn't even have an accident. His back legs just done being legs. Like, his back legs are like, bro, we 22. Like, we are 6,000 in dog years. It's done. And so then they got him the wheelchair for dogs. You know what I mean? The wheelchair. But then, he don't really know how to use it, so he adjusts it. But now he can finally, like, really run again because it's wheel powered now. And so now he be running, but then can't fully control where he going. So then he'll be turning, and the shit look like Tokyo Drift. It's the dopest shit I've ever seen, because the dog will get excited and start running, and they're like, no, no, no. It's like... It's just crazy, because, like, when you, like, okay, this is where you won't like me anymore. At least with dogs, there's like that could be your best friend, but you can see, oh, okay, they don't have a quality of life. It's not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and, take them to the vet and, put them down and everything. And nobody wants to do that. It's a horrible thing. Like, I've had to do it for a pup before, and it's very sad. But it is like, I think it should go the other way. Because every man in here got a boy where you like, he don't have no quality of life. Steve life in shambles, all right? Sheila left him, she not coming back. She happier now that she don't have him. So I think I gotta put my boy down. You take Steve to Disneyland and you just having a great day, you like, all right. I know.
I was learning to swim. I was in the beginner class, but there was like an advanced beginner that I should have been doing in this swim lesson. But because I didn't say anything, have I told you about this before? Because I didn't say anything,
I was just chuckling at. I was chuckling at advanced beginner.
Oh,
like that's
well, no, literally,
this is full ass oxymoron.
This is what happened. This is what's so annoying.
Yeah.
So there was just swimming lessons that my mom took me to. Mm-hmm. And I had some swimming lessons years ago, but hadn't been in a pool since. And so I was a beginner, still in my mind, because I was like, hey, if I'm still this nervous to get in the water, I'm not an advanced swimmer, you know? And so then I get in the water, and at first the teacher's like going over the rules in the pool and everything, just like watch out for each other, don't kick each other, like no, dunking each other, like just everyone was getting this lesson. Then she was like, okay, the kids who can swim this much come with me. The kids who like can't swim at all go over there. And so in my mind, I'm a kid who can't swim at all, And so I go over to the other direction, and then when I get over there, it's just a bunch of tiny kids. So it's me, this like 14-year-old, and then all of these like itty bitty babies getting swim lessons. Now be honest though,
how much bigger were you than them really?
They were like 4.
Oh, okay.
They were like 4 and 5. And I'm like 14.
Right.
And so the lesson starts, and they're like, we're just going to blow bubbles under the water. And in my head, I'm like, I've done all this. Like, what is this? This doesn't make any sense. And the other kids were like doing like half laps on the other side of the pool, but we're like going under the water just a little bit and blowing bubbles. And like, it felt like I was in a Lamaze class and I was the baby. Like, it was so embarrassing. And I didn't have the wherewithal to quit the lesson or to leave the teacher. Because the teacher is the teacher's acting like I need to be over there. And then we do the whole lesson. And then there's this one kid who I guess is just, I'm definitely the odd kid out. I'm the only one over here as old as I am. And this one kid who shouldn't be over here either, because he's like 5 or so, but he's like swimming in place. And so I'm like, who's going to get this kid? This is insane, right? Like, this kid's like a little mermaid. And then he looks at me as I'm like doing whatever little kick exercise we're supposed to be doing. Because how they have you, when you're getting a swim lesson, they'll also have you grab the edge of the pool and do some kicks and stuff, like to learn how to push yourself and everything. And I'm pushing, and this other kid next to me, the little like 5-year-old kid, is also pushing. And he just looks at me and he goes, "So what's wrong with you?" And from that moment, I was like, okay, I have an enemy. Like, I have a mortal enemy. I don't want anything good for this kid.
I'm about to be an advanced murderer.
Because I was like,
wow.
What? And then he repeated it. He was like, "What's wrong with you?"
What's wrong with you?
And I was like,
so what's wrong with you?
I was like, what? And I'm like, what do you mean? And this is as I'm kicking. And he's like, you're like a grown-up kid. And I'm kicking next to him like, there's no grown-up kid. Like, if you're a kid, you're a kid.
Hey, now if they're going to be advanced beginners, I think there can be grown-up kids.
Yeah, right. And so...
Sorry, I'm just having fun with all the oxymorons today.
So then he's like, why aren't you over there? And I was like, because I can't swim like they can. Like this little kid doesn't understand the concept of like, I just don't know as much as they know. I know more than the class. Like, I should have been in middle beginner, because the marquee, like the thing that you buy when you go to this swim lesson says beginner.
Right.
So them breaking up the class was kind of wild, So I'm going to what I think is a beginner class. Now, they didn't fully explain what that meant, but I projected my own stuff onto it, because in my head I was like, okay, they're going to take the little bit that I know how to swim and make me able to fully swim. And I won't be able to swim in deep water, but I'll be able to swim the length of the pool without needing to put my foot down to get air. And you know what I mean? Like, that thing.
Yeah. The basic goal of all swimming lessons is to get good enough to just not drown should you find yourself in water.
Yeah.
No matter what, that's the the base level. Is if I find myself in water, I want to be able to not die.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
And so then I'm like kicking next to this kid, and this kid is talking to me, and he clearly gets bored while he's asking me all these questions. So he stops grabbing the edge of the pool and just lets it go, flips over, and is now on his back, sort of like kicking up. Like, so he's just floating on his back and still moving his legs a little bit, but he's just sort of like moving in place. And I'm watching, I'm like, why are you over here?
Moving in place.
Like, this dude is like, he's like swimming like he was born in the water.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was a water birth.
Maybe it was a water birth.
Maybe they come out with a little extra skill.
And so then I asked the kid, because I get a little attitude with the kid because he just keeps asking me why I'm over there. You're like a grown up kid, blah blah blah. I was like, hey, there's no grown up kids, it's just kids. And then finally I was like, why aren't you over there? And then this kid goes, oh, I don't know. And then he goes under the water and goes and swims over with the bigger kids.
Wow. You reminded him that he was a great swimmer.
Yeah.
He, in the moment, was like, oh, you're right, I'm very good at this. Whee! Here I go. He shoots out of the water like a dolphin.
And he didn't go under the water like, oh, let me get my bearings and then go swim. This kid went backwards like he was in a swim competition. Like he just doubled over in the water and flipped and then started swimming. Like he was a dolphin. I hated this kid so much. And so then the lesson ends. And I can't remember my mom took me there or my aunt took me there. But whoever took me there, I get out of the pool and I'm like, why did they have me with the little kids? Like I knew how to swim more than that. And then she was like, I don't know. I was waiting for you to say something. Like, because they stayed for the lesson. So I can't remember who it was, but they saw the whole thing. It was either my mom or my aunt that took me. But this is like so long ago, I don't remember. But she was like, yeah, I was waiting for you to say something. I was like, when's he going to get tired of this? And then, so then where the pool was like a snow cone cart. So there's a snow cone cart off a little bit ways at that, like near that pool. You still have to walk to it. Okay. And that kid, that 5-year-old, I'm leaving the pool, and he's already swam and then run over and got a snow cone and come back, and he said something like snide to me. I can't remember what it was. And it was so mean that it didn't seem like he was 5. It seemed like only an older kid could have thought of something so mean. But he was.
You got bullied by a kid 10 years younger than you.
But it's not bullying because I was not like.
You kind of sort of got bullied by a 5-year-old in this story.
Just because he was being mean to me doesn't mean I was bullied. By that logic, I've been bullied by a lot of babies. All right, I've picked up a baby before and it just immediately started crying, which didn't feel nice.
Criming? What'd you say?
I thought I said crying. What did I say?
I think you said crumbing. That's what it sounded like to me.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, but he made fun of you, so what's wrong with you? And then he got you again at the snow cone cart.
Yeah,
and you seem still not happy about it. So to me, that's what makes it, puts it in the realm of getting bullied.
Nah.
I bet he's huge now too.
And so I'm walking away, and a kid said something about like, what was it? It was like really messed up. It was to the point where I was like, "Oh, you're not 5." He said, "Oh yeah, don't forget your floaties next time" or something. He said something like that was like in that vein of like, "Are you gonna bring a noodle next time?" or like, whatever the thing was, right? And so this kid,
yeah, dog, you got bullied. I don't know how to
no,
tell you.
look,
A
fine,
5-year-old
fine,
definitely bullied you. You got big dogged by a 5-year-old.
fine, whatever. This kid's like, yeah, don't forget your floaty next time. And as he goes,
He lunged at you and you flinched.
no, that's not what happened. And so then, as he said that, he went to take a lick from his snow cone, and the snow cone was such an ice ball that it all just fully moved with his tongue off of the cup and fell on the ground. And I remember I just laughed at him because he was so shocked. He didn't know that could happen. Little man hadn't been around the block a couple times, didn't know how to eat a snow cone, like an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's good with the liquid water, but what about the frozen water? Little punk. All right. I'm glad gravity told him what time it was. And so anyway, he licked the snow cone. It fell off.
He's such a fucking idiot.
Me? What did I do?
No,
In this story, I didn't do anything.
No, but I love you because you talked about like swift comeuppance, but it took so long for him to get comeuppance.
What do you mean so
it wasn't
long?
really-
What do you mean so long? He said the thing, and then he took a lick, and then his
that
afternoon was
the whole-
ruined.
That was the second thing, though. He'd already bullied you earlier.
But it's swift comeuppance when you do a thing and then a thing happens. You're taking it as if it's the whole entirety of the situation.
You're also just acting like you won, which no, you still got bullied by a 5-year-old.
No, that kid was real
He
upset.
dropped
That kid's day was ruined. I didn't have to do anything to that kid. That kid licked the snow cone. It fell off the cup, and he was. That's where the 5-year-old kickback is. So he got like too big for his britches because he knew how to swim. But as soon as his snow cone splattered on the ground, he was a kid again, and he was all upset.
Oh God, excuse me.
What?
I was coughing. So you're saying the snow cone put him in his place, is what you're trying to say?
100%.
You did nothing. You did nothing and just watched.
I didn't have to do anything.
As your tormentor.
What was I supposed
At a slight
to do?
inconvenience.
My tormentor. The slight inconvenience. Hey, this wasn't a neighborhood full of money. That was his only snow cone for the weekend.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. At least you got to feel like a big dog next to you.
Nah.
Even him out.
I was chilling.
Yeah, you sound real chill about it. I was chilling.
I was so happy.
Oh,
Just splatted. He had a bunch of blue all over his legs like an idiot. He looked so stupid. It got on his swim trunks. I don't know. I just laughed at him.
it's also really hard for me to imagine the story just not as you now either. It's really hard. I'm not really imagining a 14-year-old Josh. I'm just imagining you just like ha 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 in this kid's face.
Hey, that kid deserved that. Oh man, that's so funny to me that he and you could see on his face he got real upset. Like he didn't even, the bully was gone at that point. Like you want to say he bullied me? Any sort of bullying nature just melted away, and then he was a kid who wanted to cry because his snow cone hit the ground. Oh man. I'm pretty sure it was the first lick too. That's what makes it even more hilarious.
That's
to me.
embarrassing.
The fact that it's like he was about to enjoy a snow cone and then he went. Bruh.
That's the little kid equivalent of like losing your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
that first lick and then your thing falls. You're kind of like, what do I do with my life now?
Did y'all okay? I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it. I guess what I thought would happen happened, but you know, that whole Epstein list came out. I know, right? And it was pretty underwhelming. Like they were like dropping the list January 2nd, and then January 2nd came and they were like, sorry, January 3rd, and then they dropped the list and everyone was like just mouth-watering on Twitter everywhere. Everybody was like, Jesus, list, it's gonna shake up the world. You know, and everything's gonna change after this list comes out. And then the list came out and a couple people we thought were on it. And then when I saw the rest of the list, I was like, oh, that's right, I don't know any rich people. That's my bad. I don't really move in the circles for this to be a scandal. Because any name on the list that wasn't already a celebrity, I have no idea who that is. It could be the head of a bank. I don't know. Whoops. It's very interesting. It is also, I guess, a bit weird because if you on that list, if your name just came out, it's kind of weird because you really can't die now. Like, you really got to hold it together for quite a while. Or else if you die, they're going to be like, he was a bigger part of it. It's like, oh, jeez. No, it's a weird list. It's a weird gathering of people. You know what I mean? And not everybody went to the island. I'm not taking up for anybody because, once again, I don't know them. But some of them, a part of me feels a little bit bad for because they took a trip when the jet was going in the other direction. You know what I mean? Like, the jet goes to the island, but then the jet might go from New York to Philadelphia real quick, and then David Copperfield's like, I ain't got shit to do with this. What the fuck? Motherfuckers asked me to come over and do some tricks. And then they dropped me off in Indianapolis. I had a show. No. It is weird, though. I think the thing that scares me most about the list and our response to it was that we thought the list would have everyone that we know on it. But what were we going to do about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, think about that really. Like, we thought all of these, like, celebrities would be on the list. It's like, all right, what were we gonna... Like, was the plan to... Like, I don't know, unless we were gonna kill him, what does it really matter? Do you know what I mean? We're just gonna be like, oh, you... You know what I mean? Really think about it. It's like, if you know, whoever... Let's say Aaron Rodgers was on the list. We're gonna not let him play? I don't know. This feels like we didn't really have a plan there. We just wanted to see it, kind of like the burn book for Mean Girls. And then we were gonna just go about our day. Because it says a lot that we expected powerful people to be on the list. It kind of shows that we have no faith in them to begin with, right? So then, we might as well just treat them like they were on the list and get rid of them. Like, it just feels like... But Jeremy, I don't know why we needed a little bit more evidence that Lindsey Graham was shitty or something. I mean, like... I'm trying to be, like, a more... like chill person. I think I get carried away sometimes. Like, I'll overthink things and it gets me into this. I don't want to be a combative person, and I'm not combative outwardly, but in my head I'll be like, what does that mean? Or I will overanalyze the situation to a point where I'm having a bad time, right? Like it can't even be called a restaurant. I went to a fast food, like chicken spot, and I ordered and they gave me my food. I truly cannot remember if I asked for napkins or not. But the cashier, he gave me too many napkins. All right? He gave me a concerning, offensive amount of napkins. He gave me so many he gave me napkins, it was making a statement in my head as he was going, because he put, okay, one napkin is not enough. If you get a meal and they give you one napkin, they're like, fend for yourself, right? 2 napkins might be enough. Maybe you're going to wipe your hands, you're going to wipe something down, whatever. 3 napkins is a perfect amount. 4 or 5 starts to be excessive. He gave me a clutch of napkin. He gave me what I can only describe as an unhoused amount of napkins. He gave me napkins like it was going to be my blanket and my pillow tonight. He gave me, because he used the full width of his big ass hand to grab all these napkins and stuff them in the bag. There were so many napkins in the bag that if the bag had flipped, my food would have been safe, right? It was such a deeply offensive amount of napkins, because it just felt like he was saying, you can't take care of yourself. Like, he's like, it felt like he was saying, you're going to spill a lot. I can tell just by how you're standing that you spill. And I was talking to a friend about it. My friend was like, well, maybe, just maybe he recognized you and he was trying to give you the hookup. And I was like, okay, even if I'm trying to extend enough grace to not be offended and to think that my man likes my comedy, and so he's like, look, I don't have much, but what I got is these napkins. All right, so if you need anything, I got napkin-wise, I got you. All right, napkin-wise, I stay ready. Okay. I was like, nah, because he didn't. This is how I know he wasn't like a fan or something. He looked me dead in my eyes when he gave me all those napkins, and he didn't smile. That was the most offensive. It's probably one of the most. It was a full middle finger using all his fingers. It was the way that he was like, all right. Deeply distressed. Okay, did y'all, by any chance, see the dude who jumped the judge? Okay, this is so great. Okay, look, if you have not seen it, if you haven't seen it, it's very quick. If you have not seen it, I'll try my best to bring you up to. Okay, so basically, I didn't know everything was happening. I had to read about it after I saw it. But in the video, you see a judge and what I think is a stenographer. And I knew something bad was going to happen because when the video starts, the stenographer in the corner already got his mouth open, right? And so the stenographer is looking ahead and going, and that is because I don't know how big this man is, but there is a man already in the air flying towards the judge, okay? Now, I don't know because of the angle, I don't know if he got a running start and started flying, or if he just flew from the defendant's stand. Like, because you know that table they got the defendants at, right? From the angle, it just looks like he jumped from there over, and then no judge's bench is eye level, all right, ever, okay? Which means he didn't just jump across and clear that space. He went up, and it is so sad that our first black superhero is this is this guy? Then okay. So then he jumps over. He full Soldier Boy over the judge's bench, lands on her. Now, I knew he was going to get her when I saw him in the air because she was getting out of the way too slow. Because I think even I think in her mind, even she was like, he going to bust his head on this bench trying to jump up here to get me. Because she was kind of cold with it, where she wasn't freaked out even though he was flying her, which makes me feel like this must have happened before. And most people don't make it. Like, most people don't clear it, and then they bang their head on the bench. You know what I mean? Because for the bailiff the bailiff is nowhere to be found. He clearly jumped over the bailiff, right? Because the bailiff was probably like, the stenographer was over here like, God dang. And so then he jumps up and lands on her. She goes down. They're both like under the bench for a second. Then the bailiff gets over there, and then I guess the stenographer, I don't know what this person's position was, but he was in a suit and he seemed very scared. They both start trying to fight this dude. So now this dude is whooping everybody's ass. Like, it's actually quite like, in my mind I was like, is he on drugs right now? Because how do you fight from the ground 3 people as you get up? You don't even see that in the UFC, right? And you'll never believe. Okay, so she was denying his probation and she was about to sentence him, which is when he jumped over the bench and attacked her, right? And she was sentencing him. His case was battery with severe bodily harm. He did battery at the battery case. And I don't know what the other situation was. I have no idea. But she was about to sentence him. And I don't know how much time he was about to get. But it sounded like she was about to be like, I'm going to have to give you 8 years. And then this man was like, I'd like life, please. I'm sort of done with this outside world. Let me go ahead and stay forever. It's genuinely insane. I think that's the first person we've ever seen as a collective society that is going to get 10 million years. So, like, that's absolutely astounding. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm interested in what's going to happen next. I don't know if they'll let cameras in for it, but the judge said, the judge was like, I want to see him on Monday. This Monday, she's like, I want to see him on Monday by any means necessary. She used a full Malcolm X line. Because she was like, I didn't get to finish my sentence. Oof.
You guys know and love him. One of the most prolific comedians working right now. Put your hands together for Josh Johnson!
It's funny how sometimes people like enter your life without you ever meeting them. Like you don't get to know them, but you hear stories about this person through the people that you know or a friend of a friend, but then they just keep coming up and you feel like they're in your life, even though you've never met them. Wouldn't know them on the street if you saw them, right? There was a guy like that for me named Marty. I never met Marty. Wouldn't have been able to track him down if you gave me a 23andMe and a genealogy test or something like that. I knew Marty through stories because Marty had an interesting life. This dude spent a bunch of time in France. He was American born, lived in France for a long time, learned French super fluently, and apparently he told one of his friends, this is how I heard the story, that he dreamed in French. Like he spoke English, obviously,
and he lived in the States again, but his dreams would just be full of people speaking French at different points and stuff. And it came up because here in the US, he met someone and they fell in love, but she was French. So went all the way to France, didn't meet anybody. Came back here, met a French woman, right? And there was a day where Marty, he basically, in a nutshell, forgot his girlfriend's birthday. You know, it was their first year together, so we're still like been dating some months, but hanging out all the time and everything. I said my birthday. You're supposed to remember. That's part of the relationship quiz. And it kept seeming like maybe there was a surprise waiting or he was pretending to have forgotten or something. And then he went and took a nap. Yeah, not only did you forget my birthday, you napping in my face. And then I guess when she realized that he genuinely did forget, she woke him up. And she woke him up mad. And when she was mad, she'd go straight to French, right? Because she'd be so mad she wasn't putting it in English for him. And so he woke up to his girlfriend yelling at him in French. So he thought he was still dreaming. So wakes him up. Can't believe you forget my birthday. What's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind? You over here playing in my face all day? All in French. I'm paraphrasing. And then he was squinting, real tired, and was looking up at her and just wonders, I guess, to himself, am I having a dream right now? And so he casually, while she's yelling at him, puts his finger in her mouth. I don't know if you ever had somebody forget your birthday before, but you definitely have not had them put their finger in your mouth as you were letting them have it. And there was like felt like dozen funny stories like that about Marty. Marty was an interesting dude, and he just moved in different circles than me. Never met Marty or anything. But Marty got older, got married, had some kids and stuff. And then Marty got sick, and Marty had cancer. And, you know, there were some treatments that they could try, but it wasn't looking good, and his insurance wasn't going to cover it, and he couldn't do it out of pocket, and Marty passed away. And it's crazy because one of the other things about Marty that people talked about was how he was like a good boss. It's sometimes hard to be a good boss because people don't like being bossed around. You know, like people don't enjoy someone telling them what to do, but somebody got to tell you what to do if we all work here. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just show up to work and be like, you figure out whatever you feel like. Nothing would get done. Like, there do need to be bosses sometimes in certain situations. It's just how you are a boss, you know? Like, there are certain managers that I've had in my life that, honestly, I had the easy job, and they still made it hell, because they were hell to be around, you know? There's nothing like having an easy job that you know is an easy job. I could do this in my sleep, but I gotta do it next to a jerk. That's the worst, you know? You know those people, got time to lean, got time to clean. And this is another thing I have to accept about bosses, I have to accept about managers. There are some jobs where genuinely, it's in the handbook, it's like part of the job. The job makes you kind of come off like, or maybe turn into a bastard. Do you know what I mean? Because there are policy handbooks of companies where if you got time to lean, you got time to clean is in the book. They just quote them. So there are some jobs where you got to be a monster to do them. And there's some jobs that make you a monster, you know? I was thinking about that when the shooting in New York happened. I know. Because for me, in case you didn't know, in case you somehow have not been on Earth, there was a shooting in New York. Basically, this dude walked up behind CEO of United Healthcare, and he shot him several times, and then he went off, right? But apparently he had been camped out there waiting. That dude walks past him. He goes, pop, 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 pop. And then he jumps on, apparently, a city bike, which is not advisable. And then he heads over to Central Park and disappeared into the night/day, because it was day. It was broad daylight, too. That's also what felt so insane about it. It happened during the day. You gotta understand, there's New York day things and New York night things. We usually keep the shootings after dark. And when it happened, it shook everything up. Everyone was obsessed. The news was obsessed. The news was obsessed when it happened. The news was like, finally, we have something to talk about that's not Trump. Oh, wow. What a day. So the news talked about it all day. The news talked about it nonstop. The news would even have people on to discuss it who clearly were just finding stuff out in the moment with us on the news. They would bring the expert on and then play the clip. And then the expert would watch the clip and be like, damn, it's like you. You were supposed to know, sir. That's why you're on the news. The news was absolutely obsessed, right? The news even did a thing that I've never seen before that I very much resented, because I'm just gonna be honest with you. This entire time, I'm just gonna be telling you how I feel. I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. I'm not gonna judge how anyone feels. I'm just talking about myself, right? When I saw it happen, when I saw that video footage that they played, when I saw that dude walk up and pull out a gun and point it at that CEO, I thought to myself, thank God those are white hands. When I saw those lily white hands, when I saw those pearly white hands, I thought to myself, what a white sight. What a beautiful white thing to happen that does not have anything to do with me, that should not blow back on me at all. What a white moment in America. And then in their obsession, continually, over and over again, describing what happened, going over what happened, the news did something. CBS this morning showed the clip. They showed this man walk up, pull out the gun, and they said on CBS in the morning, a light-skinned man. No. No, light skin. When has the news ever said light skin? What's next, CBS? Red bone? Light skin. I was horrified. No, you know if it had been a black person, they would say black, because they love saying black. Anytime a black person does something, the news is like, this black was last seen at the scene of the crime. You know this black. If you've seen this particular black, call this number so you can report him for his blackety-black crime. Guys, light skin. The news was obsessed with it, top to bottom. You could not watch anything else. I'm sure stuff was happening everywhere in the world, but you wouldn't know it. Just kept circling this one block in Manhattan, and people were obsessed with it. Us were obsessed with it. It's all I heard people talking about. People who I know don't watch the news, people who I know don't really care about current events. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was debating it on social, online. Everyone was talking about it. People were so obsessed that the backpack that the shooter was wearing sold out. Because in America, everything is an ad, including murder. People were so obsessed. You know, like those Timothy Chalamet lookalike contests they've been having in New York? A bunch of white people got together because they knew he was white. A bunch of white people got together in the park and all dressed like the shooter and had a shooter lookalike contest. And it's been done in comedy before. I understand. It's a joke that's well worn. White people be like this. Black people be like this. But can I just say, as a black person, we have never, as black people, watched the news, seen the suspect, and then went outside specifically dressed as the suspect. We've never watched the morning, the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock, the midnight news and been like, oh, that's a good fit right there. Let me make sure I got it right. A red bandana. Okay, I need a red one. Right. That's just how you can tell being white is a different experience, because these white people racially profiled themselves for fun. That's just having a time. So the news was obsessed, and people were obsessed, and CEOs were obsessed. CEOs were like, what? What happened? Oh my God. Oh my God, are you serious? And they didn't know each other? Kids, he just did that in broad daylight to one of us? CEOs started making moves, man. CEOs of all the healthcare companies started taking down all of their profiles. All of their LinkedIns were just back to factory settings. And look, I need to be clear about something. I mean, you're gonna glean this off of me the entire time. I don't want anybody to die, right? I don't celebrate death in any way, right? But I will say, if you feel in the wake of this thing happening, like you have to scrub all mention of you, all knowledge of your existence off of the internet, then maybe, just maybe, take a look at how you do business, take a look at the person. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen this thing before in a different way. Okay, so I had a buddy who I went to his apartment for the first time, and this dude, I understand taking precautions, because that's what they will say they were doing. They were like, we don't know the motive. We don't know why this person would do this thing. We don't know who they are. We don't know if they're going to come for one of us. So we try to protect ourselves, you know, we just take everything on. And that's what this guy was doing. I went to his house for the first time, went to his place, and he had 6 locks on his door. At 6 locks, something needs to change. At 6 locks, you either need to move or change your ways, all right? Because this dude had 6 locks. He was dealing a little bit of drugs and stuff, but I was like, 6 is, come on. What are you doing? It takes you a minute and a half to open the door. I can hear it. You hear chains, you hear all that stuff. You know? I was like, isn't this worse for you? You really worried somebody coming to get you? You got 6 locks. You sure you won't get killed trying to get in? But that happened, and the news was having trouble thinking of a motive. The news, they were like, why? Why would anyone? Why? Who could it be? You know? Police were having trouble coming up with a motive when they went on the news. They were like, we have no idea why this individual would do something like this. CEOs could not think of a motive. They were like, but we're us. I thought everybody loved us. Everybody wants to be us. Why would somebody come after us, right? You see it on the news. And this is also, I'm not gonna lie, this is how you can tell the news is owned by billionaires. Because the news was like this devastating, terrifying, harrowing attack in New York. And I'm not saying, look, a murder did take place. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been listed as those things. I'm just saying you're the news. Like, you are the mainstream media. You play horrific stuff all the time. You're the same news that when those pages were going off on those people in the Middle East exploding, you were like, check this out. Isn't that wild? The moment 1,000 pages went off and killed a bunch of people. You know what I mean? That same news is like, we still don't know who or why or what or how. No, police couldn't think of a motive. CEOs couldn't think of a motive. CEOs of other healthcare companies couldn't seem to think of a motive. This thing happened the same week as one of the main insurance providers was saying out loud with their full chest, we gonna stop doing anesthesia if you take too long. You better. Which, by the way, is not up to the patient. That's also one of the most insane things about that new policy they were going to try out. I've never had to administer anesthesia to myself. That's just heroin. Yeah, if your surgery takes too long, it's not like they're there, by the way. It's not like they have to wait on you in the waiting room or something. If your surgery takes too long, we're going to charge extra to put you back under. If your surgery takes too long, we might not cover more anesthesia. What? In what world did we think you could pay for health insurance and then you wake up during, who knows, whatever serious surgery you're having, and then your doctor has to be like, hey, do you have like $650? Because if not, I know you're a little groggy, but can you understand me right now? I know you're literally open, but can you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have it, that's okay. I got a stick. We can Civil War this right now. The stick is $20 though, so it's... Couldn't think of a motive, you know? And the CEOs as well, when you look at this guy, you look at this dude, I don't think anyone was ready. I don't think the news was ready. I don't think the police were ready. I don't think the rich were ready for how, like, on the shooter's side the public was. Do you know what I mean? Like, how absolutely, unequivocally on his side. Immediate. I didn't know it had happened and there were already jokes. Do you know what I mean? Immediately. You know? The people, I'm not gonna say as a whole, because I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but for the most part, were on the shooter's side. They don't know the motive. They don't know why he did this thing, but they were glad that it happened. And so out of it, you get these CEOs, you get these rich people going on the news and really campaigning, being like, look, the CEO, this man was a father, this man was a husband, this man, and they really appealed to the humanity of this CEO. And there were people who heard that appeal, and they said, yeah, no, I know he was a person, so was my cousin. So was my brother, so was my sister, so was my friend. You know what I mean? This man had children. He leaves children behind. This is a senseless death. It did not have to happen. And it's like, yeah, no, I know about I know about avoidable deaths. You know? I'm a customer. I know people who have died these avoidable deaths because it took too long to get their medicine, took too long to get the treatment. Maybe it wasn't covered. Maybe they're on the phone forever. This man was a father. He was a husband. Okay, so was Marty. You know what I mean? And I think the thing that people are wrestling with, the thing that we're all trying to contend with in how we feel about this thing, because people want to feel like good people. We know that murder is wrong. We know that death is a tragedy, right? Because to me, personally, when I look at any death, when I look at any killing in that way, I personally look at it as a loss and a tragedy, because as long as someone is alive, there's potential. There's potential to turn things around. There's potential to change. And then if you lose that potential, then your story gets cut short and maybe things would have turned around. I'm not saying that they would have, but the thing that we're all wrestling with is that a murder did happen. Someone killed someone in cold blood. They just didn't kill an innocent man. Do you know what I mean? That's also what feels so conflicting about it. Like, a killer killed a killer. This dude was the CEO. A lot of people died under his watch, through his policy, through what United Health does. You know? There are a lot of people that are gone, and when you can see an act happen in real time, it's very easy to look at it, be shocked by it, and call it murder. When you can spread all of the culpability, when you can spread all of the actions across thousands of individuals and a whole system, now somehow it's nobody's fault. You know? And like, you look at someone like Brian Thompson, that CEO. That dude was, to himself probably, I'm assuming, just good at his job. It's his job to make the company money. I don't know what CEO, outside of maybe like a gun manufacturer, wakes up and wants people to die. Like, I don't know. I don't know what CEO wakes up. These CEOs, they work 80-hour weeks and they don't see their families and everything, but they do it because of their obsession to succeed and to build up the company, to make the company successful, to give back to the shareholders, all the reasons they come up with. And if some people die along the way, then that sort of is what it is, right? But this dude, make no mistake, he was a killer. He was such a good killer that the company was like, damn, Brian. Damn, you cold-blooded. We need to make you CEO. wow, you don't care. You don't care at all. Women, kids, you get them all. Wow, Brian. He got promoted the way a gang member becomes a leader, you know? You're the coldest one out here. You know? It's tough. It's really tough. It's hard. It's also hard because when you talk about it or whenever you're feeling what you're feeling, you don't want to. We're all human, but you don't want to lose your humanity. You know, like you don't want to get so spiteful that you lose some of yourself. You know, and so this dude, they're looking for him, and it's hard because the people are on his side. There's literally people dressing up as him, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like some of the cops were even on his side because the cops were on a manhunt for him in Central Park and they weren't looking hard. Dude, they weren't. Like, did you, if you saw the news and you saw them in Central Park, I've never seen a more lackadaisical hunt in my life. There were cops in Central Park. This is being shot. They see the camera and they know what's going on the news, and they were still like, he ain't in this bush. Where else is there to look? No. Oh. It's hard, you know. And it's also difficult because you want to have empathy for everybody if possible. You want to see every angle if possible. But this one is tough in a way because of what Brian was just a representative, by the way. That dude just is one of the dudes. Nothing changed. He's one of the dudes. And he can be one of the dudes because the system's already there. So it's not as if doing anything to him does anything to the whole, right? I mean, I will say, I do think they rolled back that anesthesia thing. That did happen. Maybe they'll go through with it later, but for the time being, it seemed like they were like, ooh, okay. You know? But he's allowed to be where he is, how he is, because of the system at play. A system, by the way, who didn't care about Brian either. Let's be honest about that. You know? Because that man was headed to a meeting when he was murdered. And investors still had the meeting. That's how it works. They were getting notifications on their phone that Brian was outside, and they were like, ugh, so the minutes. How's next quarter looking? I mean, that's why it's not worth it. You know? When you put like that much profit over the person, you are also lost in that thing, right? And I think that's a harrowing thing. I think for CEOs that was like a terrifying moment because it was the first time that they saw that we see them the way they see us. Do you know what I mean? That's gotta be scary. Because for them, make no mistake, for them, we're not clients, we're not consumers, we're not customers, we're not even users. None of the names that they put in their reports, none of the things that they say to their shareholders, we're numbers, we're an account number, we're this thing. Which is why when we go away, when we disappear, when we die, it doesn't really mean anything to them. Because they never really saw us. And then the response to this shooter, this like overwhelming positive response on social, I'm not saying it was everybody, but a lot of people, it was kind of this wake-up call that we don't see them as people either. Which is that's scary. That's a scary place to be in, you know? Because when you would see it on the news and the news described it, let's not mince words. It was a murder. The man was murdered. You know what I mean? And the news would describe it as if it was the singular event in history, this horrific crime that took place in the streets of New York in broad daylight, this harrowing attack. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying that the woman in the video with her coffee that got out of the way didn't spill. It was one of the most New York things I've ever seen. For someone to get shot and then a bystander be like, he ain't shooting at me. And so then they catch the shooter, right? And when they caught the shooter, I was at a coffee shop. And everyone got a notification on their phone. We weren't all talking to each other. Just different. You could see everybody was either already on their phone or pulling their phone, but I heard beeps. I heard all the little notification noises. And then in this coffee shop, I'm not even kidding, there was a collective, "Aw." Oh, that's the noise you make if the baby hippo Mudang dies. That was wild. Oh, yeah, they caught him in a McDonald's. And there was footage of him on the news later in that McDonald's eating a hash brown. And when I saw that, I was like, wait, he's eating a hash brown at McDonald's. He's eating McDonald's hash brown. So it had to be before 10:30. He's eating a McDonald's hash brown, which means somebody woke up early to snitch. Damn, barely awake at 9 o'clock. I don't know. Blinking. Oh, that must be him. Let me make the call. You know? And what's even crazier about that is apparently, at least as of the time I am talking to you, it looks like that McDonald's worker that called him is not going to get the reward money. Which, wow. Is not going to get the reward money. And people were looking it up. The person was like, why wouldn't I get the reward money? Everything. Apparently, what they were told and what the internet says is like, actually, the process of collecting reward money for turning someone in is very complicated because there's an amount that has to be approved by two different bodies, and one body approved the $10,000, but when it got up to like 50, 60, it wasn't approved by both bodies. So then when they turned them in, they may not get anything at all, actually, because there's so much confusion around how much to give them or if it's the full amount. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of wild to me, because there was no confusion when they called and they were like, nigga here. So y'all coming, or? That was very straightforward. There weren't any other things you needed to check before you came and picked them up, you know? That's why they in my opinion, they did it wrong, you know? If you're gonna call and you're gonna tell people that he's here, don't call the police right away. Get your money up. Call Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call Blue Cross Blue Shield and be like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I think I might have eyes on your boy. And we don't know what he gonna do next, so what are you thinking, 50, 60? I'm just wondering how much he's worth to you. You know what I mean? Because I could make some other calls if you want. I can call a couple different people. There are about 6 providers. Y'all got a real monopoly going on. So, okay, because he might be here, he might not. Hurry up! It looked like he leaving. I always thought it was very straightforward. You know, there's a reward out for a fugitive, and then you turn in the fugitive and you get the reward. That's how it happens in all the Westerns. You know what I mean? But then they're like, oh, no, actually, I'm the FBI and the local police have to decide on an amount, and then there's like an arbitration process and everything. It's just so funny that, like, this whole thing happened, and then them trying to get their money just sounds like an insurance claim. You know? So then they come and they catch the dude, and he has everything with him. He's got his backpack with him, gun in his backpack, 4 fake IDs and everything. And it's kind of wild because so many people, when the attack first happened, thought this dude must be an assassin. How do you get out of New York? This man was in Manhattan. He did a shooting, and now no one knows where to find him. In New York, a police state with surveillance everywhere. The man was on an island. And he got off, and they couldn't find him. He must be a genius. And then you find him at 10:02 in McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, with hash brown crumbs all over his face. And then people went from calling him a genius, like, oh, he's so dumb. He's the dumbest man that's ever lived. Look, I think all this proves is one thing. When you read history and you look back, some of these people, because there have been individuals out there saying, you say he's a killer, I say he's a freedom fighter. There are some people that think he's a revolutionary and everything. Let's just say this. This is proof that even when you read a history book, revolutionaries were just sort of figuring it out as they went. You know what I mean? I'm sure Che Guevara had his days where he was like, y'all, I don't know. Whatever y'all want to do, I guess. They see the fake IDs, they question them, they bring them in and everything. And his name is Luigi Mangione, or Mangiani, or Mangione. There's so many different ways I've heard his name pronounced that I'm not positive the name he going by wasn't just one of those fake IDs. Like, that's the most cartoonish name I've heard in years. Luigi Mangione. It sounds like you making fun of an Italian person. Luigi already wild. He don't even go by Luigi. And they put his picture all over the news and everything, and it turns out that he is very good looking. Like, just upsettingly good looking. Almost objectively, in a way. Like, crazy. Everything in its right place and everything's good. Strong eyebrows with a big smile and everything, and just all the pictures. Because you know when the news catch you, when the police catch you, they try to put up some, depending on who you are. This usually happens to black people, but it happens to white people once in a while too, where they try to find the craziest picture they can of you. And I think they tried, but it was tough work because he is a good-looking individual. Every picture looked good. He would just be with model rockets, looking like a model. Like, it was crazy. They take his mug shot, and the mug shot looked like a cologne ad. Like, that was upsetting to me as a fellow man. I was like, y'all gotta get one bad pic, please. One bad picture. He was doing everything in that mug shot but biting his lip. Like, he's just... You've seen the mug shot. My man was... Mugshot's supposed to be simple. Mugshot's supposed to be your face and your profile. Your face and your profile. Your height. It's supposed to be very quick and easy. You know? This man was so good looking, they took extra mugshots. There's some that are like a little lower than him where he looking down. Like... There's some up high where he just like, you can tell, even the mugshot photographer was like, now do it like you're a bad boy. They tried so hard to get a bad picture of him that they took stills from video. They tried to take stills from video because that usually gets people. You take a still from a video and somebody was blinking weird. Okay, normally people blink with both eyes at the same time. Every once in a while, like let's say you mid-yawn or something, or you're chewing, one eye might close before the other eye. And if you catch me in this moment, I look a little off, something going on with me. And now if you tell people I killed a bunch of people, you're like, I can see it. I can see it on... That's what the other eye is hiding, is secrets. That's why it's closed like that. Okay. They tried... This man was being led to the jailhouse through what looked like a tunnel, and he getting pushed by police through a tunnel, and he's screaming. And they took stills from that, and those still looked good. Good screaming. This man's getting pushed through the tunnel, yelling back at the media, going, ah, like just... I'll show you right now. What about that was sexy? And people already thirst trapping me. We thought Ted Bundy got letters. It was insane. It was very aggravating. And then every picture looked good to the point where editors and media consultants and stuff like that were like, stop putting pictures out of him. That's how good he looked. They were like, stop. You botched it. Don't put out another picture. And you could tell that the newspapers were getting aggravated because these newspapers and these media companies are owned by billionaires who are terrified right now of what's happening. And they see the public lauding this dude as a hero, and they're trying to get at least something. The cops literally had to tase this dude so he pissed himself, so he took one bad photo. But even in that one, you're like, aw. I just know that there was somebody at a newspaper flipping out going, y'all can't do your job? Y'all can't take one bad photo of this man? Everything gotta be in focus? You can't even make it blurry? But I'm not gonna lie, when they caught that dude, I felt, everything started to come back up top, like surface level again, where I felt bad for a lot of different people, you know? I did feel bad for Brian Thompson's kids, because you don't pick who your daddy is. you know, and to a certain degree, I even felt bad for the shooter because I'm like, you're 26 and you have money. Something happened. Something happened. You're smart. You have your whole life ahead of you with all of this opportunity. You disappeared for some time and now you do something happened, you know? But I felt especially bad, like really, really bad for women. Because finally there was a good-looking, rich, well-read man who has nothing to do with Hollywood, but he does murder some. So, you know what I mean? I could just see somebody trying to defend him. Just women defend their men too hard sometimes. Just like, he just did one. It was just one murder, okay? He can't even murder a little, like. You judging me because my man your man cheat, all right? How about that? Felt bad for a lot of people when it happened, when it became like surface level real again and wasn't just this like spy crime mystery thing. It was like back down to earth with real people. I also feel very bad for anybody else who got shot that day. It's New York. A lot of people get shot in New York every day. Imagine you get shot in New York. Ow, they got me, right? And you holding it. And let's say you're an artist. So you actually do your own police sketch of your shooter. And then you hobble your way over to the police station and you put it in front, like, look, that's exactly what he looked like. I had a lot of time to draw it. Can you go looking? And then the police look at you and be like, sorry, this other thing's sort of an all hands on deck. You know? But yeah, it's tough. It's tough because, you know, there was even a lot of talk about which CEOs in this whole thing were safe. Do you know what I mean? Because like healthcare CEOs were on high alert, but I'm not gonna lie, you know, Luigi, he went to Starbucks and then he did that murder and then he hopped on a city bike and he left New York and everything. If you the CEO of Starbucks, you gotta be like, oh, thank goodness. You know, Starbucks does stuff too. Starbucks, they love that labor. They love that cheap labor. So for you to go to Starbucks before you take out a CEO, I'm not gonna lie, you might as well shot that man with an iPhone. Like, what are you doing? And then he gets found at a McDonald's. I'm sure the CEO of McDonald's is like, oh, thank God, okay. I was always good, yes. You know, the CEOs were freaking out, you know, across the board. Who would have thought? Who would have thought CEOs were family? Do you know what I mean? Like, and let's be clear about something. Don't mistake the different CEOs that commented on this, the ones that stayed scared, the ones that appealed to a different way of doing things while they keep doing everything the same way. Don't mistake their self-preservation for empathy. Right? Because those CEOs, they know, you know? And it's not even as if people hated people because they were rich. They hated a system that destroyed people's lives, you know? Because Luigi is rich. Luigi is so rich. When I found out how rich he was, that's so rich. The dude's family owns 2 country clubs. Look, why do you think I came? This dude's family owns 2 country clubs. This is just me outside looking in. I didn't even know you could own a country club. I thought it was owned by the country. I had no idea, because usually people don't put their name on the country club they own. It's not like it's Rick's Country Club. Like, that's crazy that Luigi's family had more money than the CEO, but then the CEO comes from like humble beginnings and has more money than Luigi does personally. And so it became this whole thing where some people started turning on Luigi and then rooting for the CEO. It was odd because people got too wrapped up in the money. But for me, it's not the money specifically. It wasn't about who's rich and who has more money than who. It was about a system that destroys people's lives, you know? It was about the fact that some jobs make you a monster and there are some jobs you have to be a monster to do. You know what I mean? And so for me, I don't even care that Luigi is rich, because the people, right? The people that love that it happened, the people that didn't care that it happened, the people that just wanted some taste of revenge for how healthcare and health insurance has destroyed their life. We use healthcare and health insurance interchangeably, but I think you know what I mean, how these insurance companies take the good work of doctors, the good work of nurses, and they make it so it's inaccessible, you know? And I think that the CEOs were scared, but let's be honest, not all CEOs were scared. I'm pretty sure the CEO of Ben and Jerry slept pretty good this entire time. Yeah, like, nobody was calling for all the CEOs. Nobody wanted to get Ben or Jerry. We were both very happy with those individuals. You know? You also have a year where whistleblowers who try to stand up to power, and a system, not just like one person, right? Because that's why I think a lot of CEOs don't understand, and why a lot of news media didn't understand about how the people feel, is that there were people who tried to do things the right way. They whistle blew, hey, this company is doing this thing. It's either putting your life in danger or it's stealing from you. And then all of a sudden, 2024 seemed to be the year of whistleblowers turning up dead. You know what I mean? Look at the Boeing whistleblower. That dude turns up dead when he's supposed to testify in the thing he already risked his life to do, and you're telling me he just mysteriously died in the parking lot of his hotel room that nobody knew he was staying at? Come on now. Come on. And then my man is blowing the whistle on a bunch of stuff we already know. He's like, the door gonna fly off. We heard. And then another whistleblower dies, and another whistleblower dies. And then just today, the whistleblower that blew the whistle on OpenAI was found dead in his apartment. And so, yeah, I think that people, as in individuals just generally in the world, are scared. They're scared of what happens when you stand up to power. They're scared of what happens when you try to do what seems like the right thing, you know? And these powerful people step in and we don't know, but it looks pretty obvious what happens. And I think for me, at least to me, people, all of us, are like mirrors of each other. And right now, the mirror's like shattered a little bit. If you put up two mirrors next to each other, you make an infinite image, right? In both directions. But if you crack just one of the mirrors, you've cracked the whole infinite image. You know? And so the way that they see us, not as people, not as people who they should take care of because we are their customers, we are their consumers. We gave them money in good faith for insurance, for our health, and then you deny when I need something. I've been paying all this money. If I had just saved the money and put it aside, I might have enough myself. And now you're standing in the way of me and my health, and you don't think that there's going to be any blowback with that? You don't think anything is going to happen next? That's wild. We're in a time where you see like Josh Shapiro come up and be like, this guy was not a hero. Let me be clear. Sure, fair enough. I'm with you. All right. But you have to pass legislation. You have to get it through. And don't let a lobbyist sway you, and don't let a lobbyist sway your colleagues. You have to do something then. Because I cannot stress enough how scary it is, how much of an inevitability we're heading to. You know what I mean? If you look at history alone, all by itself, is a playbook for some people, is a cautionary tale for other people. I think a lot of the answer to what we're facing is in history. It's in Versailles. And when you read the history of Versailles, you read the history of French Revolution, it's very apparent that, you know, whether it's police, whether it's an army, guards, whatever it is, they protect the powerful, not the people. You know, and the only reason that the people won in the French Revolution, in my opinion, is because the army's guns took like a Seinfeld episode to reload. Like, say, yeah, you can probably get them up out of there real quick. Like you go to, I went to Versailles. I went there, and it is beautiful. It's a testament. It's a monument to like what people can accomplish. But it's all one man's wealth. You know, it's all for the king. But the gardens are beautiful. Inside is beautiful. The mirrors, everything. It's decadent. It's when I walked in, I was like, wow, I get how this can happen. I get how you could have everything in the world and you want to make something like this and it's still not enough. You want to add to it. You want to build more, build better. You see the king's bedroom. You see where Marie Antoinette, her, it's like you see so much. And then you walk through the thing and you also are like, oh yeah, I can also see how if you were hungry enough and you broke in here and you saw what they did, you would probably grab everybody. It doesn't make it right, but France was headed towards an inevitability. You know what I mean? And if you get on TV and you say, this is wrong, this is absolutely wrong, okay, I agree with you. But what are you gonna do now? What's the plan? Like, politicians cannot afford to do nothing. CEOs cannot afford to do nothing. And the people cannot afford to do nothing. And if the last part scares you, you might be on the wrong side of history, you know? But that's a tough thing too, because now there's a lot of people saying like, all right, you got them, but good luck finding a jury. Good luck finding a jury that wasn't hurt by Brian Thompson. Yeah, that's a tough one. Because now, to me, all Luigi has to do is show up in court and be like, y'all, I tried to call and tell him I was crazy, but they kept me on hold for so long. They kept me on hold for so long, I figured maybe I'll just go talk to him personally.
When I